ever wonder if Cryptids and Commander had a baby? Well, that's basically what the Obscurids TCG is. A multiplayer-focused TCG you can find right now on Kickstarter. But does it suck? Well, let's find out. What's up guys, it's Kevin here, and this is Fund or No Fund, where we see if you should waste your money on another TCG. And today we're talking about Obscurids. Now, a disclaimer, I do actually know a couple of people from Obscurids. One of them is a very close friend of mine. Shout out to Logan, and also shout out to Bats also, because this TCG, looks good, spoiler alert. Either way, I am not sponsored or affiliated with them in any regards. All opinions are completely my own for this video. Now, Obscurids TCG looks really good on paper, I'm not gonna lie. Among a lot of the other indie TCGs you can find on Kickstarter right now, it looks very professional, the game looks very good, the rulebook looks pretty tight overall, and everything looks well done. But yeah, we're gonna go check out the preview of the Kickstarter and also check out the rulebook a little bit and just say some thoughts and feedback on the game. So here we have the Kickstarter for Obscurids. We got 33k pledge out of 50k, so they're not funded yet. We do have 28 days to go. 115 backers is good. If there's one feedback I want to say right now, just off the get-go, I think 50k is still a pretty lofty goal for the TCG space these days. I think a 25k goal, 20k goal for a higher production value like this, just keeping it lower entry would be better. But as we will see, this game had a lot of production value put into it, so I understand why the 50k goal is the goal. So here we have the actual Kickstarter. The game is, pretty good graphics in my opinion. Looks very polished, pretty easy to read in my opinion for the actual words. Decent amount of icons, I will say. I do like a lot how they have videos already by, bigger influencers than me, talking about the gameplay in a multiplayer setting, because this game basically is Commander. It's like, a multiplayer up to 4 people kind of game made for multiplayer, as they say. Now, my favorite part of the campaign, honestly, is their lowest entry, the Jackalope pack. What this basically is it's 5 ready-to-play decks off the gate. If you think about it, that's basically like 10 to 12 bucks per deck, which is very good value. And you can just buy this one little Jackalope pack and play with your friends for a game night. It acts as a demo kind of kit, but it also acts as like, this is all you need to play. So you're essentially playing this TCG as a board game, which I'm a huge fan of. I've had this idea, honestly, pretty similar idea to this for MetaZoo when I was working for it. Didn't happen. This Jackalope pack is a great idea. If I was to fund this project, honestly, for anybody, I would at least get this level. The Kraken pack, this is where it gets kind of interesting for me. So after this $50 tier, you have this booster box kind of tier. And this is where my critique of the game comes in. On one hand, the game is kind of filling a niche in that it is a multiplayer-focused TCG, which a lot of times multiplayer-focused TCGs, notably Commander, these multiplayer formats are basically evergreen formats, where a lot of times people will not modify their decks a lot. You can buy a precon in Commander and just stick with that precon forever, or you'll modify it a little bit with some upgrades here and there. But they have an actual booster box in the game, showing off the TCG side. I think there's kind of a conflict going on in the intention. Is this really a more casual, party-based card game that you play in a game night? Or is this more of a collectible investing game? I think there's a little bit of ambiguity going on, because the booster box seems to have the intention, in my opinion, of being more of a collector, investor side, but yet the game is being marketed as this multiplayer party casual game. So again, I think that's a little bit of a conflict. I personally would not buy the booster box for this game immediately unless I know it's going to give me some very good value for the decks, because the way the game looks, it looks like it's this more party casual game, just off of all the videos that I'm showing in this video and what they've kind of shown. I do really like how they have dragon shields as their sleeves of choice. I'm really tired of these Kickstarter TCGs putting like really cheap sleeves for their boxes. That just shows the production value. Legendary artifact tokens, Playmats, a little steep at 29 bucks for the playmats, I'm not gonna lie. Lots of artists for the game. I actually like the comic art style that they have for the game. Very transparent in their shipping prices, and yeah. So overall, their Kickstarter is actually pretty professional and pretty good. Like I said, I think the main issues is the marketing message of what the game is. Is it casual or is it like collector? Like what is it? I think that's a little confusing. And additionally, I do think 50K is pretty steep for an initial Kickstarter when you have a new IP and people are honestly kind of tired of the cryptid kind of themes going on. It's a little bit of a fad right now, I'm not gonna lie. Starting more from MetaZoo, but also going to other card games and board games, so it's a little bit of a fad. Obscurids also has their cards in their beta form on their website, and I like that a lot. That's a major green flag to show off all your cards like this. They used to have a TTS mod, but I believe they took it down. Yeah, so they took down their TTS board and print and play files because, you know, they were updating it, which makes sense for a card game. The fact that they used to have a TTS and, you know, a demo version of the game is a major green flag. It means they actually tested their game. Okay, so now for the fun part, the rulebook. We're gonna skim the rulebook real quick. No pixels, question mark, on this little image here. I like how the rulebook is a big font. It's actually readable if you were to print it out. Basically, this game is like Commander, like I said before. You have a legend, which is your boss, and you're trying to fight the other bosses. You get enough points by beating other bosses, and your boss levels up. You hit level 3, and you have 5 prestige, 5 basically like points. You win the game. So you win the game basically at around, I believe it's 20 points, since you have 3 levels, and you need 5 prestige per level. So you always bring back your legend and boss, no like paying extra commander tax in this game. This game is pretty simple overall. If you played MtG or like any other kind of MtG-like game, there is a lot of comeback mechanic in this game because if your boss is a lower level than another boss, you get more points. And then yeah, they have some deck building basics here. So overall, this is a good rulebook for a quick start guide. The full rulebook doesn't actually exist. I would like to see that. There are some typos here and there in the rulebook, and they also don't actually explain some of the keywords for the game. For instance, the game uses the word revive for the beginning for your reviving your boss, but it doesn't say what revive means. I mean, if you play card games, I'm pretty sure revive means to just bring back your guy, but I would definitely have the definition of revive somewhere in the actual game itself. And yeah, I would check out these videos of the Tabletop Vibes and the Good Time Society because they are good gameplay videos. So overall, is it worth it to back Obscurids? Honestly, yes. I think this game is worth to back at least at the $50 level. So if you were to get this game, I would get the $50 rewards. I'm kind of skeptical on the booster box versions of the game. The problem with booster boxes in general is the fact that you may not actually be able to have workable decks from the booster box. I think it's kind of niche, personally. I also think it's kind of a shame where I wish there was an in-between tier of the Kraken pack and the Jackalope pack. I wish you could get the stuff in the Jackalope pack, but then have like, I don't know, 12 booster packs added to your Jackalope pack, you know, box. So that way you could like customize and upgrade your deck if you are more of a fan. Maybe that could have been like $75, $80 in my opinion, because spending $99 on the Kraken pack and not even having like the decks you get, 5 decks you get, is kind of a shame in my opinion. I do think it's kind of ridiculous how you can go to these bigger packs like $400 and whatever, the $2,000 True Believer. Those are like LGS level kind of stuff. Honestly, I kind of see this game being hard to sell at an LGS unless you have a good amount of these first sighting packs. I don't know why people would want to buy the booster packs for the game when you don't already have the decks included. And we have no idea how much money it's going to cost to build a deck outside of the $10, $12 per deck in that first sighting box. So that's interesting. But yes, this game looks very good, very professional. If you like Commander, but you don't want to do too much deck building, and you also like Cryptids, I think this is a great game to back. So this game is Kevin Cracked Cards approved. Yay! shut up and play. But this is an approved game in the back, in my opinion. Definitely fund this game if you're interested in it. Well guys, that's the video. I may talk more about Obscurids in the future, and little quick aside, but Obscurids, I was a winner of a promo card a while ago, and I was never shipped that card, I'm pretty sure. So, not calling you out entirely, like saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying that, yeah, if you don't send me the card, that's fine, but just letting you know about that promo card a while back. Yeah guys, that's the video for now. I'll see you next time. Comment, like, all that good stuff, and peace out. See ya.